If you were expecting off-road adventures with a roof tent in the wilderness in our latest trip, we unfortunately have to disappoint you. Because of our offspring Benno, we are visiting our neighboring country, the Netherlands, by motorhome. And not just the coast and Frisia, but especially the east and the south, which was completely unknown to us until now.
Floating on cloud nine. Do you feel the winds are turning?
Accompany us to picturesque towns, dune forests, and many restaurants.
Stories come back down. I'll be safe in your arms, like the light in the day never part.
Let us show you some perhaps lesser known highlights of the picturesque Netherlands.
By my side, I'll be fine.
Our little road trip begins in the small town of Ootmarsum, just a few kilometers from the German border. The charm of this town led to this travelogue, as we hadn't actually planned to take any footage this summer. But when I saw the small alleyways, colorful market squares, and the many small artist studios, I was gripped. Even without my full equipment, without a gimbal, tripod, and large selection of lenses, I suddenly found myself behind the camera again. In the sky above us, large flocks of storks were gathering, hundreds of which had been perched on the roadsides on the evening of our arrival the day before. In the local brewery Ootmar, during one of Benno's nap breaks, we tried the delicious local beer, and Michelle, of course, a lemonade. We continue our journey to a place called Sahara. The name is no coincidence. Shortly before Ommen, we drive through dense pine forests and reach an unreal landscape. A large sand dune, inland, invites us to walk, to explore, and to have a picnic. Much to the delight of our French bulldogs Trüffel and Pelle, who, of course, also get a bite of a biscuit. We spent the night on an old farm with campervan pitches, a so-called mini-camp, a small campsite without all the facilities of a fully equipped campsite. In the morning we continue our journey to the town of Borculo. Here we explore the countless small waterways, alleyways and drawbridges. A path with labeled plates teaches us about the history of the town, for example about the Great Town Fires. There are two great restaurants at the old watermill, as we only want to stop for a small snack. A selection of cheeses and so-called bitterbollen, small fried balls filled with meat, we decide in favor of the scenic outdoor terrace of Pröflokal 01. Inside the pub, you can still see the old millworks of a still turning watermill. I could have spent hours in this small seating area, listening to the creaking and cracking of the wooden mechanism. There are many campsites in the Netherlands that are run by farmers on or near their farms, including our current campsite, Te Dommerholt, outside Borculo. This dairy farmer has killed several birds with one stone by processing his own dairy products into fresh ice cream on site and selling them in his own ice cream parlor. Here, too, we stop for a sweet dessert and save ourselves the evening meal. After a breakfast of frikandel and bread, we set off for Bredevoort. The weather is favorable again, and we explore the old town and the alleyways of this book town. Countless second-hand bookshops and libraries are located here, and there are bookcases on every corner where you can take books with you and simply drop the money into a cash box on a trust basis. I remembered what an Iraqi bookseller from Baghdad once said: "Thieves don't read, and readers don't steal." Of course, we also had to try the local beer here, and then fortify ourselves with delicious carpaccio and snacks. The local motorhome site was just a few minutes' walk from the center. Now we continued westwards to Tolkamer. The joy of our pitch right by the lake was short-lived as a rain front swept over us. Time for a coffee and some amateur radio with local people on the nearby repeater. A good opportunity to get traveling tips from the locals. The rain soon stopped, so we made our way to the nearby banks of the River Rhine. A few bars and restaurants awaited us here. Over delicious Belgian beer and Dutch specialties, we waved at the passing ships and enjoyed a stroll along the illuminated marina in the evening. Departure to Linden, to the pitch at the Tilou Marina. We had a great time here for 2 whole days. We let our minds wander. I set up a mobile antenna system for shortwave and made radio contact with the whole world. Benno played under his play arch on the lawn, and the romantically lit Bistro Romaine provided us with all kinds of delicious treats in the evening. Next stop, the fortified town of Heusden. Although we didn't find a pitch for the night here, we did find delicious pannekuchen and a butcher where we could stock up for the evening barbecue. Right in the front row, at the Creuset Marina in Lagesvaluwe, we had delicious rosemary potatoes and barbecue food. The next morning we continued towards the coast. We visit Zierikzee in the province of Zeeland. We particularly enjoyed this stop. The colorful town center is incredibly diverse, with its windmill, harbor, churches and fountains, and the many bars, cafes and shops. It seemed to us like a mixture of Prague, Paris and Vienna, only on a smaller scale. So close to the coast and, above all, so close to the oyster beds of Zealand, we couldn't miss the chance to try the delicious seafood here. We found what we were looking for in the Brasserie Maritime, with delicious lobster, oysters, scallops and clams. Our new little fellow traveller also had great fun in Zierikzee in the afternoon. As we continue our journey the next morning via the Brouwersdam to the South Holland region, we pass countless oyster beds and fishing boats. Now we head for the beach and Benno sees the vast sea for the first time. Once again, we find a quiet pitch in a marina directly on the river Waal. We set off on foot into the town and once again we have oysters as a snack between meals. We seem to be addicted to seafood. Guilty. The town of Gorinchem is also very popular for river cruises. Certainly also because of the colorful planting and the pretty old town with all its waterways. On our last evening, we watched from the terrace of the marina as the sunset bathed the city behind us in a golden light. The final walk down to the harbour brought the day and our holiday trip to an end. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for our previous and future trips with motorhome or off-road vehicle and roof tent. See you soon.